This is 2026 Discraft Australasian Open presented by OTB Discs Round 1 coverage, our second event of the Tour Down Under, presented by MVP Discs. My name's Luke Humphries, joined in the booth by Mr. Nate Perkins. Wow, today we are at the highest rated course in the Southern Hemisphere.
Wow, really? Yeah, that checks out. Spa Park is honestly a global disc golf destination, as is the city of Taupo.
Yep.
I actually had to look up what Australasian even is as we're flying over. This is not edited in post, guys. That is the Waikato River. It is the only natural outflow from the Great Lake of Taupo.
Gotcha.
The largest lake by volume in the Southern Hemisphere.
Wow. Got you. And how did it develop?
Well, we're going to get into that in just a moment, Luke.
Okay.
I'll bring back.
Yeah,
I'll bring up the notes and we'll run through the stats. And
can't wait.
We've got Corey Ellis. He is the returning champion. Well, he took a year off.
He did.
So Aiden Scott won last year. Corey won the year prior to that.
Yeah, we got two guys coming in off of dubs, essentially. Both of them feeling the course out. Corey won it with not as good of a field as Aiden Scott did. It was an impressive victory last year from Aiden, beating a talented field. I think he considers it his best win ever, actually. 10-23 rated, played some good golf last week. Not as good as this guy, though. Showed up, really lapped the field last week, Perkins.
Some of the best putting I feel that we've seen on coverage in a really long time.
Yep.
Very relaxed. I'm very interested to see if he can kind of carry that same confidence into this week's event.
Be interesting. If he just won all four of these things and then came over to the Pro Tour with all that confidence, I would love to see what Levi Stout can do in the States. And word is he's headed there pretty soon. All right, we got the best first tee announcer in the game, Henry Pearson.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the first tee here at the beautiful Spa Park in Taupo. We are at the 2026 Discraft Australasian Open, presented by OTB Discs in association with the Taupo Disc Golf Club on the MVP Discs Tour Down Under. We're about to kickstart the action for our MPO division with round one feature card coverage, and we've got a star-studded lineup to kick off the action here at Spa Park. 3 Americans and a Kiwi vying for this title this week, along with a wonderful field of competitors from across the world, really. Many local pros joining us here at the premier event in New Zealand, as well as some international contingent vying to take that title away from the Kiwis. You are watching the MVP Discs Tour Down Under here on Go Throw. And now we welcome our players. First, from Barbersville, West Virginia, a champion here 2 years ago. And that was the start of his Tour Down Under legacy, winning 3 titles in the inaugural Tour Down Under season. He's a former major champion at the 2023 European Open. Give it up for Corey Ellis.
Like I said, best first tee announcer in the game, Henry Pearson. You can tell he's got some radio history there. He's got a little experience on the mic. Corey Ellis.
Is that the Destroyer? I think it is.
I think he's going straight to it. He's looking to blow through this double mando. It's a fair double mando. Left, right, headwind. Oh my. Early green. Disc still had 100 feet left and he's getting the green.
He joins us from Mount Holly, North Carolina, and he's with us in New Zealand for the 2nd year in a row. Last season, he became a one-time Tour Down Under champion, eclipsing the 2025 New Zealand Disc Golf Open. Give it up for MVP Disc's very own Jeremy Koling.
Luke, rather, can you touch on Germ's success that he's had on your channel?
Man, he does really well playing on Go Throw coverage. It started off at Persimmon Ridge a couple years ago. He played a great event here last year at the event we'll be at next week. And then, you know, he took down that Puerto Rico event in amazing fashion earlier this year. So look at this. Tons of confidence on our program. I don't know what it is about it. You see the best of Germ.
That was a teleport off the
Next to
tee.
the tee, he's from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and he had an almighty effort here at Spa Park this time last year to become the 2025 Topol Classic champion and therefore a one-time Tour Down Under champion. Here to defend his title, stepping to the tee, is Aiden Scott.
Wearing that Cardinal jersey, repping Team Infinite, coming back to the spot where he won. His spin putt was incredible last year this time. Every one of those circles edgers, ton of confidence. Oh, that's looking like a destroyer right of the Mando. Yeah, unless he got
And rounding
saved.
out the action here at Spa Park for round one, feature card MPO coverage of the 2026 Discraft Australasian Open presented by OTB Discs. He is becoming a Kiwi legend, a two-time Tour Down Under champion, having just come off the back of a win last week at the inaugural event of the 2026 season, the Taranaki Open. Give it up for New Zealand's own Levi Stout.
You think they did that on purpose? They gave him that last spot so he could get some wind reads? Something for the local guy?
Couple of destroyer options in his hand.
Yep. Yeah, this destroyer has a twin, actually, that is in Francis Orange.
Also
bag.
pulled it. Getting saved. I believe that could have been heading right at the mandatory.
That is your MPO round one feature card.
No, I think you're 100% right. Hitting a good tree, dropping down short of the Mando, should be able to get this up and down for a par. This is really just a placement shot. You can't get too frisky. Oh, that's extremely frisky, though.
And it's getting back to flat. There's no way.
Wait. That is safe on
There's
the
no
putting
way,
green.
Luke. I've
Didn't even know
never.
that was an option. Wow. Okay.
He's really gonna start it off like that again. I'll go out and say no one's ever gotten up and down from short of the ditch.
I think that's valid. I think you can say that. It's the second hardest hole on the course, playing almost an entire stroke over par. Partly due to the Mando and partly due to this green.
This
Perkins.
green. Wait until we see this green, guys, because it runs away straight toward OB. And Luke mentioned the wind earlier, referring to last week. We thought we were going to get a nice chill tournament with 10-mile-per-hour winds. That is not the case. Nope. It started to rip. It was above 20 nearly the entire tournament.
Whoa.
And there's Germ letting that tempo get a little nose up in that wind, and it just carries long. Didn't have a chance.
Took a hot skip for sure. And Aiden Scott, as we're talking about how hard the green is, just slides one up.
And Luke, you mentioned this course was the highest rated in the Southern Hemisphere. How does that land with you? Because for me, I'll second that all day. This is one of those courses that we have fun practicing. It's just a joy to be at. How do you feel about it?
I have to agree. I love Bottle Lake down in Christchurch. I'm a big fan of the Orchard in Auckland, but this place right here adds the enjoyment. It has the difficulty. It's just a course that I would go play for fun. And I can't say that about every track here. Big Germ. Air ball. This guy gets the birdie.
That's nasty. I don't have too many words for that. I think that was about the longest that we've seen him kind of reset and just get the wind read to perfection.
Wow, dude. Didn't even know that was an option. All right, Germ now for bogey.
Ugh.
Happens fast.
It's tough going. I did hear a little birdie say that Jeremy got his tee time incorrect.
Yeah.
And so he was actually sprinting up to the tee of one and wasn't able to get any warm-up putts in.
Got you. Okay. That makes a little sense. That seemed a bit tentative.
That first putt seemed like a guess.
Yeah, it did. Which is somewhat going to happen out here. This wind is swirly. It's not consistent. There's valleys, there's dips, hills. It's all going to come into play. Hole 2 Now a different green playing as the hardest hole on the course. So
Did it really?
we immediately go from second hardest to hardest. If you could take a couple pars to start your round, you're not losing strokes to anybody.
There's a solid head right to left off the tee, so you can see it moving. Levi's disc does the right to left, swing it back,
It's going to be good.
and it just gets back in time.
It completely held it up too. It looked like it was carrying for a pretty far ways, but it didn't really, kind of stalled out.
Out of position for the birdie, I would say.
It would be very aggressive to attack from there. Corey's got the power. We know that.
Hammering of force.
Oh.
It also gets stalled by the wind a bit. Typically, he would be another 20 meters in front of that.
Totally.
I think the approach is still quite tricky from there.
Agreed. He does have the Spike Kaiser angle from the left side of the fairway, which plays good. It was interesting that Corey was literally pin high with that left OB. Oh, will it?
It's cooked.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so he threw that disc out of bounds on the first hole, threw it out of bounds on the second hole, not giving it enough hyzer or not respecting the wind.
So this blue one is a dimension. Fast and overstable. All hyzer. And look at the drop, Luke, and it is gone.
Crazy. That's way over there too. So early out of bounds, short of that tree is going to leave him with a pretty tricky layup. He's going to have to go layup now.
And I want to ask you, when you come into a round like this, not expecting the wind, how do you manage it mentally?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think expectations are they're killers in our game. You never want to have that expectation. Not a bad spot to be for Germ. Of getting very close with that trail to the out of bounds. I think you really just, you got to play with some feel. You can't be robotic about this game. Things are going to change. They're going to come up. Your scenarios that you played through in your mind getting ready for this event aren't always going to come to fruition. Got to be willing to act in the moment, I think, Perkins.
Levi is going to send it. This is Kotari, and look at it. Just perfect nose angle again.
Wow. I think that was Kotuku, actually.
Was it slower?
I think it was stable Kotuku. That'd be the mid-range.
That makes more sense for the flight.
He's got two of them. The red one he loves throwing the most. That's a swirly plastic right there. Corey going with a Raptor, it looks like. No, Zone, excuse me. He's got a same color Raptor, but both of those guys going pretty stable putter mid-range and kind of giving themselves like that 40, 50 footer from the left side. I think that's a safe play.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody got as close as Corey did in two, honestly. I don't know how many birdies there were on the day. Oh, and Germ's tempo sliding up against that OB.
I think he's in, though. Yeah, looking at a bogey putt. Speaking of bogey putts, I guess that would have been a par putt. Now it's going to be a double bogey putt.
Touchy approach there with the Kia.
Yep. Yeah, this is a hole you need to respect. We're watching the numbers add up quick. Leaking it right, even messing with the right side with that right to left headwind. You're just playing with danger. Look at that.
He's hungry to beat Levi this week.
No kidding.
At Levi's ceremony, award ceremony last week.
Dude.
Corey shouted out, like, wait till next week.
Yeah, well, I mean, Levi kind of poked the bear a little bit with his speech there on the 18th green, and he's going to get the results of it, seemingly starting on the second hole with the hardest hole on the course. Corey Ellis picking up over 2 strokes on the field with that birdie. Happens quick. If I were Aiden, I'd put that white and blue disc in my bag for the rest of the round. Try and trust something else.
Retire it.
Yeah. Give it to your caddy. Give it to a kid. All right, hole 3. Now is your first chance to really pick up a decent birdie. Playing over par, 0.3 strokes.
Still.
Because of the OB by the green, I think the wind is left to right head. It's forcing people to be a little bit short of the landing zone that they're typically used to being. So then they got to force that second shot.
Firebird?
Looks like a very flat, aggressively shouldered disc.
I swear I saw Nate Sexton Firebird, but that would be a shock. And he's just going to ease off on that, keep it flat. That's a good spot. You could push another 40 feet up the hill to make that approach easier.
Yeah.
Am I going to go Destroyer?
Wow, that's nice.
Really trusting the wind to turn it over.
No kidding.
I think the big mistake there when you don't have this wind direction is to hyzer off left and find that OB line.
Totally. Do you think the left side is the easiest to approach from?
Yeah, if you're 475 up there, I would say it is. Oh, look at the wind.
Whoa.
Just grabbed it, and he barely gets in bounds.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, Aiden.
Took the blue one out, just like you
Oh, no, though.
said.
This is really right. Come on. Okay. It's inbounds. Wow. Getting jerked around a little bit with these kicks and reactions. Yeah, so every one of the events that has go throw points available at them, we're going to have, oh my goodness, we're going to have Prodigy discs available specifically for those events. So right now we've got a super cool piece of artwork out. It's two-tone. It's got the, what is the name of the volcano?
So it's Naruhoe, and it's Mount Doom.
Oh.
It's literally where Sam and Frodo are going to destroy the Ring of Power.
Okay.
And on a clear day, Luke, when you are standing on the shores of Lake Topah, you can look across the Great Lake and you can see Mount Doom.
Amazing.
It is incredible.
Big Germ is making mistake after mistake, turfed the approach, then threw the next one out of bounds. Yeah, you guys can get those discs at prodigydisc.com/GoThrow.
There's a whole like volcanic theme going on here.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Well, I mean, the top blew off this volcano to create the lake that we're playing around, right?
Exactly. So I was reading a little bit about it. The Orua Nui eruption, roughly 25,000 years ago, it is one of the largest volcanic eruptions in recorded history.
Wow.
And I was learning about the volcanic explosivity index, guys. It was a VEI 8. And after that eruption, there was a caldera left, which is what Lake Topah filled in today.
Got you.
And honestly, I can't oversell this place enough. Lake Topah is one of the cleanest, clearest lakes that you will ever see. And its only natural outflow is what this course sits next to. So you're done with the round or mid-round and you go jump in one of the cleanest, clearest rivers that you'll ever swim in. And as Germ cannot find the putter, Luke.
This is a tough start for our buddy.
Yeah.
It's his first event in New Zealand. He just got here, played a skins match, but you can't really call that an entire tournament type atmosphere.
And to be fair, he wasn't even sure he was going to come down here. Him and his wife are pregnant.
Yeah, expecting.
They're expecting,
Yep,
and
yep.
he's at his home, cultivating his home, and then all of a sudden he's down here trying to compete against some shredders.
Crazy. Yeah. He'll 100% get this thing figured out, but digging himself a hole right off the bat. And Levi, this was just... Did that just go out of bounds? Looked like it was hyzering extremely.
It's interesting that you said that hole 2 was playing the hardest, because this is always the hole I think of when I think of this front 9.
And you can get yourself in trouble on this hole.
It's a nasty hole. Typically, people are trying to throw a 400-foot straight shot toward that back OB line, and that is almost just not in play today.
No, it's really not.
I mean, if Corey Ellis is laying up, if Levi, Aiden Scott, these players, these aggressive players who are great with the driver are laying up, that says a lot about the conditions.
100%. Yeah, just look like a Luna out of Corey. This is a Mayhem from Germ, and oh no. Oh, it hits the Mando tree and rolls down the hill, so he's safe.
No.
Hasn't missed the Mando yet, but look at this shot. He's just gonna.
So he never crossed that mandatory line?
No, I think he hit the tree and rolled down to there. I was in the group in front of him. I saw
So
him.
he was tempo, so he's about to throw his third. He could still get a par.
100%. All of these guys well laid back. Look at this.
If Corey Ellis is laying up 2 times in a row, it has to be ripping up there.
No kidding. I'm glad that I'm witnessing this.
That needs to sit.
Come on. Yeah, getting the claps. That's Am's Delight right there. They sit really well.
Is that the Berg?
That's the Berg, yeah.
I need to get one.
Yeah,
I need to slow down this descent into Am land. Oh, and Jordan flattens it out.
and man, just like that, he's sitting there looking at a bogey putt.
And Levi's did go out of bounds off the tee, Luke, and
Gotta sit now.
it's not gonna matter. It's a
Same
potential
disc.
up and down for
Yeah.
par. Yeah, that's that Kotuku.
Yep.
Flat, semi-overstable disc. It feels like an MD4 to me.
Yeah, same. Like a good stable Rock 3 or M2 from Prodigy.
Okay.
Whatever your stable mid-range is.
Do you throw the M2 at all?
I do. I threw it, well, I didn't off this tee. I had been playing it.
No way. Aiden Scott lets it leak.
The double layup to do that on the easiest of them all.
I always associated M2 with Kale Visca throwing like really flippy M2.
M4. That's
Is that the white ones he used to throw?
Yeah.
That's an M4, okay.
Yeah, those gray ones. He'd steep highs or flip up to flat. Yep. M2s, that's like the Gannon Burr rip flat, fly flat. Now this is a bogey putt for Aiden Scott.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's the putt that won him the tournament last
100%.
year.
Exactly.
And as we run this go throw replay back, again, I can't overstate how amazing this venue is. Right below this green, there is a natural hot spring that bubbles up and it flows directly into the Waikato River. This is the hole where you stand with your buddies and you get the picture of the crystal blue and green water. Right below you, there's 100 tourists getting coffee. They're sitting in the water and then they're warming themselves up. And if you time it right, you can pick blackberries while you're sitting in the hot spring.
It's too much. It honestly sounds
fake.
It's not, though, people.
At OTB, every disc is virtually in your hand, carefully measured, weighted, and examined, giving you the ultimate confidence in your game. Head to OTB now to get your new favorite discs.
Your membership dollars have a huge impact on the growth of the game of disc golf. The PDGA uses membership dollars to provide and aid disc golf as it spreads across the globe. From tools like the PDGA app and Tournament Manager, services like the TD Helpline, and grant programs that support the growth of disc golf globally. Your active membership also brings you access to select member benefits, including free and discounted access to the Disc Golf Network. So sign up today, and we'll see you out on the course.
Luke Humphries here with the Go Throw team, and we are proud to announce that Prodigy Disc will be the official sponsor of the 2026 Go Throw Tour, marking 2 years of them supporting what we're doing and seeing our vision for the international disc golf. As part of this partnership, Prodigy will release exclusive signature discs for every one of our Go Throw Tour events, along with elite disc golf apparel throughout the season. This collaboration brings together top-tier competition, premium plastic, and next-level style built for every single player. Learn more at gothrow.com or at prodigydisc.com.
All right, hole 5, finally getting to a hole that plays under par, Nate. The first 4 holes play a combined over 3 strokes over par. So just getting to this point with a decent scorecard sets you up nice. Now you start to attack, get some of those birdies, get yourself under par. Speaking of this man, he's been under par the entirety of the Go Throw coverage. Out in the lead on his card again. It's a comfortable place for Levi Stout to be.
That's the shape.
Yep, it is. You got to avoid those roots right there, but if you bring in that forehand on some hyzer into that hill, it almost always gets you an extra 20 feet of ground play.
Buzz from Corey.
Yeah. Yeah, catches the roots. Looks like he sneaks up to circle's edge. All right, going back-to-back buzzes. This is Aiden Scott's version. Really similar.
Was it just me, or did you already know what Australasian Open?
No.
Did you know what Australasian is?
I thought we were just combining words.
I didn't know it was a thing, but I looked it up, and it's a sub-region of Oceania. And most of the time, it just includes Australia and New Zealand, but some definitions include some of those Pacific islands.
Okay.
But the TDs here, Steve Lawson, Ken Harris, and Richard Atkinson wanted it to feel a little larger than just a Topawk Classic as it had been in the past.
I dig that.
I kind of like it. After I learned what it was, I felt like it's a larger championship. It's a larger title than just something in New Zealand.
Yeah, it's the region. Big Germ throwing that mayhem another 45 past this basket. It's uphill already, so he threw that thing well over 400 actual distance. Misses his comebacker, and we're going to see 3 birdies. Looking like the Aiden Scott and Corey Ellis probably hit the exact same route. Corey has to hit the circle's edger. Aiden skips off that route. He gets all the way up there, and these guys are headed under par. Unfortunately, Germ at 8 over. Not going to grab this easy forehand birdie. It would have been a great place to get things turned around. He has other options, though. Hole 6, another hole that's going to play right about even par. A lot of OB around the screen, but it's a stock hyzer.
It is. There's a little bit of a wind calculation going on out there today because it's ripping right to left. So you might have to push it a little wider than you had in practice, and you can't really flatten it out too much or it'll just hold it.
100%. The second it holds it too, you end up catching that long OB. Whoa. That's got to get left. Oh, that never came in either. He's going to be out so early. He just went around the entire green. If you don't cross there, he's going to be well below the surface of the green, I think, at where he crossed.
Raptor for Corey, getting a good wind read off Levi.
Oh, yeah.
Just in front.
Yeah, most people are playing it in between those 2 trees. Corey's just going over the top, showing off. All right, still no sign of the disc that turned over twice from Aiden Scott. I love it. He's using other discs. Not throwing discs with bad memories. Gonna be short, common miss.
Could have saved him from leaking out OB short left.
It looked like he was asking for it to get down. All right, here we go. This is a new, I think it's an Eagle McMahon disc, the Boost. Oh, this is a great roll.
Germ's played a lot of disc golf in his, we're coming up on his 20th season. I think he started in 07. This has to be one of his toughest starts to a tournament all time.
You know, you're probably right. It's been a while since he was 8 over through 6 holes, 5 holes. Yeah, it's, you've dug yourself a hole. You got a decision to make at this point. You going to let it get to you, or are you going to put it behind you and start getting some birdies?
Yeah, it's round 1. You can't throw the rest of the tournament.
Nope.
You can't go home.
Nope.
It's too far away.
No, at the end of the day, you got your wife watching. She's got your baby out here. You got to do better in front of the baby. Do this one for the baby.
I was also expecting that to drop a bit.
If any day now, he's going to click back into the germ that we know and love, the one we watch on Go Throw. This is a tricky putt. Ooh.
Now, is he still putting Challenger?
Yeah, Challenger OS, I believe. Man, it helps to be 6'4" in windy situations like that. If you don't have to get the nose up, and you can just throw the level putt like he did, or even a little down, I'm telling you, it matters.
Should ask Tall Paul. He feels like it helps to be tall when you're putting into a headwind.
You can barely trust him these days. Ever since he got the world championship, he's a cocky man.
Should we ask Gannon then?
If you watch him putt and you don't think that being tall is easier, you're just not watching the same thing as me.
The basket is so big from his vantage point. It's putting down into it.
Down into the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Hole 7, probably the more technical of the birdies on the front 7 that we've played. There's some hard ones in hole 1 and 2, but this one is very tricky, especially today in the right to left tailwind.
Cooking right to left.
This is a big boy shot. You don't see many people trying to go around this tree right here.
He's going to go deep on the hyzer line.
Oh, what?
That's nasty.
He wasn't here last year, so I've never got to see somebody pull that off properly. Landing it 40 feet above the basket, curling it back into the green.
I think Gossage was also attempting that line.
You could be right.
There's only a few people in the world that could try it.
100%. This looks good. The hard thing to do in the right to left tail is get it to hold that anhyzer. He did pretty well. Germ going with one of our good buddies' signature disc here. This looks like a trail.
Honestly, one of the sweetest discs MVP has made. I think that and the Hex are two that are just separating themselves from others.
Yeah, they did good with those. Okay. Levi trying to go big boy route. Looks like it just went straight into that tree, leaves you in the bush. Sometimes you can end up with a pretty good putt, and being pin high makes it a flatter putt. Yeah, a little range approach from Germ. Corey, he's made some good decisions. You can tell he's just not all out aggressive. And he's playing with Levi Stout, who just took down the tournament. We've talked about it. He's the one to beat. He's the pace setter. Sit. Oh,
It's a good stop.
he called for it to go. Levi Stout. Not one of the 3 birdies that we had on this. Mikey Hare, Jonathan Wake, Bradley Williams getting it done. Bradley threw the spike hyzer as well. Missed that tree on the inside. Got stuck in a tree beside the basket and was able to take like a 15-footer from where his disc was suspended above him. The closest it was ever going to be from the basket. Great birdie there. Just a really good hole to pick up a bonus for sure.
Certainly.
Here on the Topah course, hole 8, kind of another bonus. So many ways that you can mess this one up. You can't be thinking about that though. You got to think about giving it the width for the righty backhand. That headwind right to left is going to abuse anything that's not thrown with a proper nose angle.
We played this in a wind. What is Not the buzz.
It looks like
There's
it.
no way. It's 22 miles per hour. Yeah, and the wind isn't going to let this happen.
Yeah. Okay. So it was more of a smart play. A respectful play.
You mentioned it earlier. You have to play with feel. You show up on hole 8. A lot of people are just throwing spike hyzer with their drivers, and now you have to make an exceptional wind read, keep it flat. This is going to get swung, and the green is fast. It'll likely skip, and it actually settles up nicely. 24 feet.
That's really well done.
It's the limit. This orange guy.
Okay.
I don't know the speed on that one.
Seems like a pretty fast one. Germ, wrong side of that bush. He and Aiden are only 10 feet apart probably, but vastly different options when it comes to their putts.
Levi swinging this destroyer extra wide.
Even more angle.
Does it get this skip down the hill? It won't.
That's an unrunnable putt in my mind. He and Corey both left with just one option. Yeah.
So we mentioned all the geothermal activity around here. Some of the best geothermal water you can get in is at the Wairakea thermal terraces. Luke knows it. I've been telling him about it every day. And there's Jeremy Koling with his first birdie of the round. It's a dignity birdie, we like to call it.
That is right. Yeah, you've been telling me about this hot spring, the healing waters.
Yeah, it's some of the most mineral-rich water I've ever soaked in, and it's essentially in a small botanical garden with New Zealand natural trees and bushes. It is divine, as I like to call it.
You sold me on it.
It's essentially one of the reasons why I return to this area and why I think that Topaz is really a global destination.
Man, we're playing at Spa Park. You're talking about those hot spas. You guys got to come get some of this action yourself. Highest rated course in the Southern Hemisphere. And while it's snowing in North America, it is hot and sunny right here. Aiden Scott working himself back to just 1 over par after starting 3 over through 2. And this is the disc I told him to put away.
I was waiting for you to say it. And he is going to trust it.
Yeah.
And this is perfect.
It's perfect. Sometimes all it needs is some time out. You don't have to totally take it away. Just put it away for a few holes. Throw a few good shots and then come back to it.
And I don't know about for you, but this was a pretty strong head left to right.
Yep.
It took some trust.
Agreed. Yeah, you felt like if you hit it with a little too much anhyzer, it could just hold OB left. Germ didn't look happy about that one, but way down there.
Way up there.
Corey, just a putter in hand.
I would say that is the only thing that Corey is truly missing in his arsenal is the power forehand.
Yep.
Not to say he can't win a major without it, as can a lot of cats out there.
Yeah.
But at this point in state of our sport, it plays.
Yeah. You really need both.
Stop on the pad. Okay.
He's going to be a little bit pinched, but should still have some option. And Corey, this is a decision. How aggressive are you going to try and get here? Pretty easy if you just throw 200 feet up to get up and down from there. If he's still thinking birdie, which it doesn't look yet. Now, this is the smart play. He's shown us that he's got some self-control today. Showed up to the course, not just playing for a first-round hot score, but playing for a consistent tournament.
High.
Yeah.
Gonna push a little deep.
Yeah, don't see people trying to take it in that high very often. The ground play is left to right, so it suits the low shot. Oh no.
And that is right on the OB line. Believe it's just safe. No putt from back there.
All right, Charm. In a good spot to make it 2 in a row.
Well, what's on the shirt, Luke?
I think they're lemons. Or no, flowers.
Little poppy flowers.
All right. Somebody's excited about Germ getting a couple back.
Oh, gets the flag.
Crazy.
And he was certainly blind from there.
Man.
We don't have a collective stat for how difficult the front nine played today, but we saw a lot of the holes were all over par, I believe.
Yeah.
They all played over par, and we saw from Germ's score just how much teeth the course really has. I think a lot of the scoring is going to happen on the back nine. Back nine is a little shorter, a little more technical. If you survived this front, as Levi and Corey both did, you can really turn in a hot score.
100%. Yeah, some very windy holes. I mean, starting off plus 0.69 and then, 0.89 and then plus 1.11 right off the bat.
Yeah.
You kind of just got to buckle down, make some good decisions like Corey Ellis is doing. 2 under par for him, 2 under par for Levi Stout. It was hard to know how solid that was.
Mm-hmm.
I got myself to 3 under within the first 5 or 6 holes, and I wasn't sure what kind of aggressive play I needed to continue. And I slowly started to give it back. As you can see, I'm only 2 under now. But it's not, no one's going super deep. Our man Paul Oman, the deepest so far.
Bogey free through,
Crazy.
I believe,
12 holes.
Yeah, 12 holes. And Luke, I want to take the time here to kind of bring some clarity to what really makes these events happen, right? You started this intro off. We've got the TDU sponsored by MVP, and then this specific event was brought to us by Discraft and OTB, and our guy Danny back in the States, he really brokered that deal for this event because he wants to see disc golf grow in New Zealand.
100% Perkins. Well said. It's a team effort to make this happen. Thank you guys for being with us. That has been the front nine of the first round of the 2026 Discraft Australasian Open presented by OTB Discs. Come join us for the back nine. For Nate Perkins, I'm Luke Humphries. We'll see you there.